Hello, welcome back. And we're just getting ready to do some actions here. And I think the thing that I absolutely want to do, I do want to open that luggage, but we have 4 Doom here, and the bigger priority is we're going to move 2 and then do a ward. So let's do that. I get to roll 5 dice. One, 2, 3. Remember, we're blessed, so we get all kinds of passes now. So that's 3 of them. So we get to remove 2 ward, and I got another remnant. We're up to 6 remnants now, and that ends our turn. So we go ahead and go to the encounter, and we're going to get to do the Black Cave. You trace your fingers along the pictographs on the cave wall. We're going to test our lore. That's 5 again. And we have 1, 2, 3 passes. If you pass, fragments of secret history blossom like garden in your brain. You gain 1 spell. Okay, so put this away. And let's see what kind of spell we get. Healing words. Test lore -1, and we recover health. Okay, so now we have a way to recover both health and sanity, all on our own. Just has to spend those precious actions. Man, I wish we could get that guy that gives us 3 actions. Okay, no monsters. We already did the encounter. Monsters would have come first. And now we're going to do the Mythos Cup. So Reckoning first, and then Clue. All right, well, the Reckoning is a Doom goes in each space that has a scar. So a Doom's going to go where we were, or where we are right now. One's going to go South Church, and one's going to go at St. Mary's. Okay? We get to remove 1/1 from our card, so that helps us. And then we have to do our pact. So I'm going to roll 1 die, and bad things happen if we roll 1. And that's not a 1, so we're in good shape there. So that's it for the Reckoning. So now we go to the Clue. The Clue is going to be at Miskatonic. So I'm going to grab 2 cards there and get those shuffled. And while I'm shuffling, I'm putting a Clue on Miskatonic. There's only 2 clues on the entire map right now. That's actually our big problem. We want to close these scars, but there's not that many clues out there. There's 3 scars to close and only 2 clues out there. I do have 1. No rush to do anything with that yet. But it's back to our actions. And I think, so there's always this rush that we need to get these this ward cleaned up. So I think I want to clean up that graveyard before I move on. So obviously I want a clue there. I want to get down here to Riverside. But I think I want to do a move, and then let's clean those up before we keep going. Because I don't want an anomaly to show up. And you can see there I got 2 successes without even seeing what that die was. So I just cleaned up 2 more, and I got yet another remnant. I'm piling in remnants, so I'm up to 7. All right, no monster. Now we're going to do the graveyard of Rivertown. You kick at the rats trying to uncover what the horde swarm is so interested in. Strength. Okay, so our strength is only 3, because those other ones only add if it's an attack action. So we're going to do 3. Let's get rid of that last die. That's a pass, because we're blessed. If you pass, you drive the vermin away and turn your attention to the alien creature they were gnawing on. You gain a remnant. Okay, we got 8 remnants now. I hope they will do something for us someday. All right, and then we're going to draw 2 from the Mythos Cup. And there it is, gate burst and then clue. So let's do the gate burst first. It's happening in Rivertown, the exact area we're in. So I'm really glad we cleaned up the 2 because that would have caused an anomaly. It's bad enough that we're up to 4. So, and then I'm not gonna forget, we gotta shuffle with the gate burst. And the good news is a clue's coming out, and it's gonna come out on the south side, which already has a clue. So we'll be able to go down and get a couple clues there. So, grabbing the south side card, shuffling it in. And we're good to go there. Okay, we're back to our actions, and again, I'm feeling like I'm not able to keep up. There's 4 of them there. An anomaly's coming if I don't do something. So do I move back to the black cave again? Which is gonna, I mean, moving is one of my 2 actions. I mean, that's what is so brutal about this. If I could just move for free, it wouldn't be so bad. I'm gonna stay where I am and clean the graveyard, and then I'm gonna open this luggage. Let's see if we can get something out of there that'll help us. So let's do the lore first for the graveyard. All kinds of passes. So we got rid of 1 doom, so they're down to 3. And then we're gonna do eyeball -1, which is gonna be 3 for us because we have a focus. And that's 3 passes. So we're gonna discard this. And the first item we get is a Mystic Tome, +3 while casting a spell. We happen to have a spell, so that's good. And +1 as part of a research action. So, I mean, those are both going to be helpful, not immediately, but I'm glad we got it out of the way. I probably got a little too selfish there. Probably should have gone after tokens, doom tokens, but no monster still. So now we're doing another graveyard. Someone grabs you from behind. You struggle with your attacker, hardly able to see them in the moonless night. Do strength, so that's 3 dice. We pass. If you pass, they run away, leaving their torn coat pocket and wallet in your hand. You gain $3. Actually, we could use some money, so that's not too bad. All right, $3. I think having 2 gate bursts is going to stink, because we're going to draw another one soon. So newspaper and nothing. So the nothing is good. The newspaper. You suffer 1 damage for each monster in your neighborhood. There are no monsters, so we're fine there. Okay, back to our actions. I'm gonna leave Rivertown be. We gotta get clues. So I'm gonna move 2, and we're gonna clean up Ma's boarding house. So 1, 2, 3, 5. There's 3 passes there. 2 are gone. We got yet another remnant. 2, 4, 6. We have 9 remnants. Okay, so that's the end of our action. No monster. Now we're at Ma's boarding house at the south side. But remember, there's 2 clues here. I forgot to put the second clue token on the board, but there's 2 clues here. Ma's boarding house. A guest damaged some antique furniture. Either test diplomacy or whatever that is to assuage Ma's wrath, or spend $3 to pay for the repairs. If you pass, the apologetic guest asks you if you need any help. You gain 1 ally. Well, we just gained $3 through that other card. And I could get a reroll, and I am blessed. So we have 3 influence, so we could take a chance with the dice. But I really would like an ally. So you can't take it with you. So I'm going to spend $3 to get a guaranteed ally. So let's grab from the top here, and we get Zora, an investigator or ally in your space recovers 1 sanity. And of course that's us. So we can, for an action, recover yet another sanity. It's just like our grim fairy tale, but she does absorb 2 health and sanity damage. Well, not the best ally, I guess, but we could at least, we're definitely not going to die anytime soon. We didn't get the clue. And what's next? Oh, the cup. We're going to get a gate burst soon. Can feel it. Okay, we're going to spawn a monster first and then that. So the monster is an avian thrall. It's going to spawn at the most doom, and it's a hunter. Moves 3 spaces. And it's pretty nasty. Holy buckets. Okay, so the most doom is the Black Cave. So he's going to spawn there, and at 3 spaces he will get to us in 1 turn. Okay, and then the other one, what was the other one? It was a clue. No, it was a doom. It was a doom. All right, so the doom is going to be at the graveyard, which I don't think is good. Oh, it's not. All right, so we're up to 4 there. Okay, so now it's to us for actions. That thing is coming. I don't think I want to proactively go after him and kill him. I want to stay where I am, but that thing's going to arrive, and when he does arrive, we're not going to get to do an encounter, which gets us our clue. So that's what stinks. It stinks a lot, in fact. The only reason I want to stay where I am is so we can draw a clue. Can't draw a clue if I'm engaged, because we won't be able to draw an encounter. So we either move 1 more space down here and we can get the clue that way, right? This historical society could get us a clue, but we're spending a move action to go here, and then I guess I would do a gather. Well, actually, no. Okay, we can do that. I think that's a fair idea. We are risking an anomaly showing up in Rivertown, but we're going to move 1 to there so the monster can't get us. And then we'll just spend an action to heal 1 of these from our character. So there's no reason not to do that. And that'll help us to get 1 less damage on our person. And now it's the monster phase, and so this thrall will move 3 spaces. 1, 2, and we get to choose. So I'm going to choose that one for 3. Okay, and then we do our encounter. So we're going to be in the South Side Historical Society. And that is one of our clues. Mr. Peabody is struggling to translate a historical text that is written with unusually exotic symbolism. You may spend 1 remnant to offer up, oh, we got plenty of those. We have 9. To offer up some of your own findings to aid the translation. If you do, the curator is grateful. You gain 1 curio item and a clue. Oh, we gladly get rid of 1 of these. All right, so that's a clue. We get a curio item and a clue. So we're going to first grab the clue, and then let's go over. So far as curio item goes, there's only 1, and it's the Derringer. I'm not impressed with the Derringer. We don't need it. So we're going to take our chances and just take the first curio item from the deck, which is fine clothes. Once per round, you may pay half price while buying an item. Well, since we've never had an opportunity to buy an item, that doesn't really do us any good, but it's at least better than what the Derringer was. So if we do ever get to buy an item, we get to buy it half price. So not going to complain. And our strategy to get a clue paid off. But now we gotta pay our dues, and we're going to draw from the cup. And it's just like I said, there's only one left, and it is the gate burst. So I'm going to put everything back in the cup and draw one more. And a clue, okay? So first, the gate burst is happening exactly where we're at, south side. So that's at least a little bit. 1, 2, 3. So we're at 4, right? So no anomaly. And then the clue is going to be in Uptown. So I'm just going to shuffle that in to Uptown and make sure I don't forget to put the token out. So that's the next one over. All right, so the good news is we're in the area that needs to be cleaned. The bad news is we have a bad guy there. And let's deal with that bad guy. I think we have to be aggressive and just go attack it, or otherwise it's attacking us. And so we're gonna move and engage and attack. The engage we had no choice on, but the attack we are gonna do. So get -2 to our attack. Our attack, by the way, is 3. Plus 2 for the dagger is 5. Plus 3 more for the automatic. That's 8. So we're gonna get to roll 6 dice. That's still pretty good, especially since we're blessed. So here's 5 of the dice. And talk about stink. That's only 1 hit. And then let's get our 6 die. That's 2 hits. All right, we need 3. And it says I may suffer 1 horror to re-roll any number of dice. So I'm going to do that. That's the voice of the messenger ability I have with my guy. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to re-roll all these. So these 3, right? 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, there's actually 1 more. Well, there's my 3 hits. I had 1 more die I could have rolled, but I finally killed this thing. It was very imperative that I do that. So he's gone, and I get a remnant, of all things, back to 9 again. And unfortunately, I have no more actions. So I'm going to have to live with whatever comes next. But we do get to draw in a regular encounter, which could be a clue. And boom, it is. So it's the church. A starving family is praying within the church. You may spend $1 to buy them a meal. So that's well worth $1. I'm going to spend the $1. I have 1 left. And it says, you or an ally recover 3 sanity, and you gain 1 clue from your neighborhood. Okay, so we get to recover 3 sanity, which it stinks. I just spent an action to do that. And then gain a clue. One thing I'm not sure is if I recover 3 sanity, I don't think I get to remove it from there, because it says me or an ally, so I'm assuming it's just those. I have no damage, so all I get is the clue, which is still pretty good. And that's it for that. And now we're going to draw the 2 mythos tokens. And we're drawing a doom, and we have a blank. So the doom, hold on. This top card was the clue we just did. The rest of these were supposed to be shuffled. So the doom is going to be at south side, unfortunately, which is bad. And that's at Ma's boarding house. And boom, we have an anomaly. Now, the only thing is we already have one here, and I don't think a second one appears. Yeah, that little thing that says that they appear, I don't think that happens anymore. Yeah, it says if there's not a scar in that neighborhood, place one. So the good news is a new scar doesn't show up. but we now have an anomaly, which is not good. And now it's our turn for actions. Well, first thing we're going to do is I'm going to research. And so the research for us is 4 because we have a focus. And then we have a magnifying glass that gives us +1. So we have 5 dice. I have 3 research tokens. Let me re-roll this. All right, so we have 1 pass, and I'm going to use my silver key to re-roll these. So 1, 2, 3 more passes. Okay, so all 3 of my clues are going onto the scenario, like so. And for my second action, I think I'm gonna spend 2 of those clues, and we're gonna mend this scar. So we now have 2 of them mended. We need 3 before something happens. And we end our turn. There's no monster. We're gonna have to draw one of these cards, and we have 2 doom. This creature clearly did not come from Earth. You examine the corpse of a spider-headed bear-like beast. Will -1, which in our case is 1 die. We pass. If you pass, you dispose of it before anyone sees. You remove 2 doom from your space and gain 1 remnant. Okay, that's part of the reason why I did what I did. I've been finding that these cards let you remove doom. So instead of doing the ward action, I was able to accomplish that by letting the encounter deal with it. And we get another remnant. We're up to 10. And then, of course, we were able to close this instead. So let me just make sure. Yep, nothing else happens. All right, and then we draw from the Mythos Cup. We're going to get a monster and a blank. So the monster is an altered beast, spawned at the most doom. So there's 2 places it could spawn. It patrols, so it's moving towards the most doom. It doesn't move towards us. It moves towards the most doom, and it engages the lowest. So it's an interesting one. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to just put it... I have 2 choices. I can put it here at the boarding house, or I can put it up there in the black cave. If I put it there in the black cave, it actually isn't going to move. And it doesn't hurt us. See? Nothing happens. So I'm feeling like I can just leave it up here and then just let it be for a while. And then I'm going to clean up this down here. So that's actually what I'm going to do. So that's done. And we go to our action phase. So I'm going to move, and we're going to ward. So that's 5 passes. We only needed 2. So we clear up 2. We get another remnant. I want you to see this. That's all the remnants we have. Holy cow. Okay, so we succeeded. And now the monster phase happens, and he's staying where the most doom is, which is where he is right now. And actually, let's just double check this real quick. Make sure I really understand what patrol does. They move towards their destination. This activation might indicate a prey that the monster engages. So it says go to 418. monster's destination is a specific space or spaces the monster moves towards or affects. Okay, that doesn't enlighten me any. And then prey. A monster's prey is a specific investigator that it moves towards and engages. All right, yeah, so he just stays where it is. So I interpreted that correctly. And so now we do our encounter. So we have 0, and we're at Ma's boarding house. Well, we just do the 0. A rogue figure sits behind a chessboard. So we're going to test our lore. See if we pass it, beat him. We get to roll 5 dice. And there's plenty of passes. If you, oh, let me show you. That's what I rolled. If you pass, you best him with a clever gambit, and he tells you what he knows of the lurker at the threshold. You remove 1 doom from any space in your neighborhood. So I'm beginning to like the way this plays out. So yes, we can remove tokens, and if we have none in our area, we get to remove 1 from somewhere else. And then yes, this goes away. So the neighborhood's clear. So we can worry about Rivertown or St. Mary's now. St. Mary's has a clue that we need. Rivertown is another possible anomaly. So, newspaper and monster. Newspaper first. You suffer 3 horror unless you place 2 doom in your space. I'm going to go ahead and suffer 3 horror. Zora Larson can take 1. I can take 1 on the until the end of the time, and then 1 for me. So that was pretty easy. And then we're going to spawn the monster. This might be a problem. It's an altered servant. He spawns at the unstable space, which is Ma's boarding house, which is exactly where I am. So so yeah. So the one question I have for people is, because this guy is just like the altered beast. Move towards unstable space, engage most clues. So do they move there, and then once they get there, they move again, so they pick a prey after they get there and then chase the prey? Or are they moving towards the space and they only engage you if you're the one with the most clues? That's my question. I can read this 2 different ways, and the rulebook didn't help me. So if anybody has any thoughts on that, I would like to hear them. I mean, the other monster has the exact same situation. He's sitting where the most doom is, and I didn't move him last turn. Should I have moved him? Because once he's at the most doom, he would pursue whoever has the lowest will. Well, I'm the only player, so he would. So does that mean he then hunts me? But anyways, this one I think for sure is engaging me because he's in my space and I have him now. So we now start the turn, and we're going to attack him because we're in his space and there's nothing we can do. So we get 8 dice for attack. Here's 5 of them. 3 hits right there, and he only has 2 hit points. So he's good and gone. All right, so that was 1 action. And then for the second action, I get to move 2 spaces, and this is where it becomes a real dilemma. The clue, I think, is what I need to progress this game. Because if I get a 3rd one of these closed, I move forward. But I'm worried about Rivertown. And then the other thing is I get to move 2 spaces, which means I get to do an encounter at Rivertown, but I don't get to do, I'll have to do a street encounter. I'm not a big fan of street encounters, in case you haven't figured that out. I don't like stopping in the street. I can spend $1 to move to St. Mary's. But I think what I'm going to do is... Oh. I'm going to go to the general store. for my second action. Okay, so assuming that that monster is not going to hunt me because he's in his space with the most doom, I'm going to just say he doesn't move, and we're going to go straight to the Black Cave. An elaborate mosaic made of shells, glass, and tiles depicts a profane image of a toad-like monstrosity. You may become delayed to painstakingly remove the picture piece by piece. If you do, you feel blah, 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 and you can become blessed. We're already blessed, so we're not going to become delayed. No worries there. So nothing happens there. Now we're going to draw our mythos tokens. Gate burst first, and then a clue. Okay, so the gate burst is occurring at Miskatonic. So the only good news is there wasn't that many there. And then the clue comes out at Uptown. Uptown Funk You Up. That song always goes through my head every time I see it. Michelle Pfeiffer would like this game. I guarantee it. Okay, so it's our turn again, and I think what I would like to do is clear the doom, but obviously that altered beast is sort of keeping the Black Cave occupied. So what I'm going to do then instead is I'm going to just clear one doom from the general store and then move. So we're going to do that. Pick your pass. There's plenty. And then we're going to move to the science building and then maybe be able to clear some more and get clues there. Okay, so again, monster rules. We're going to just let that monster sit, and then we're going to draw Miskatonic, the science building. And you agree to become a test subject for a new drug. You gain $2. We were actually low in money, so that's pretty good. It's sort of a biological accelerant, says the student. Let's up the dosage and see what happens. Test your strength. Boy, gotta love Arkham science there. Okay, so the strength is 3. And there's a pass. The drug has no effect. Okay, otherwise we would have taken some damage. All right, so that's done. And let's draw our 2 tokens. Okay, 2 tokens. We're going to do this first, and then the doom. Well, I can draw the doom now. The doom's going to show up on the south side at the Historical Society. So that's down here. And then the reckoning causes a doom to show up in the Black Cave. So that means an anomaly occurs. And then another one at St. Mary's. So we do have an anomaly, unfortunately. We close this one, so nothing happens there. We get to heal 1 and 1 from each of these. And then we have to roll for our Dark Pact. And we pass that. Okay, so now we move on to our turn. Or do we? I think no, our turn. Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to ward this science building for 1 action. And then I think, yeah, and then we're gonna hope to get that clue. So, well, there's plenty of passes, even though dice fell out of the tower. So we got 2 passes already, so I'm gonna remove those 2 ward. We get another remnant. We're in the teens now for remnants. And I still have another action. So, you know, looking at the situation, I guess we're gonna just heal our horror for the other action. I mean, I don't have any, yeah, that's what I'll do. And so then monster sits tight, and we're gonna draw from Miskatonic University, the science building. We still don't have a clue. The conference drags on and contentiously. The young professor from Harvard slaps the table and stands. But what proof do you have? Show us now. You may spend 1 clue or 1 remnant to support your case. If you do, you take some of the newly allocated funding for yourself. You gain $3. We have so many remnants. That's not a problem. So we're going to trade a remnant for $3. That's simple enough. I think the bigger problem is we have no clue. So there's a newspaper heading. Place 2 doom in your space unless you gain a dark pact. So here's interesting. You can't have more than 1 dark pact. At least I don't think you can. That was the way we played it with the FFG guys. So I think I have no choice but to put 2 doom in my space because I wasn't able to take a dark pact. With that said, it's our turn again. So I'm back to the exact same situation I was in last turn. So we're going to once again do a ward. So there's 2 passes there. And we're going to get rid of 2. And we get our remnant right back. I have another action again. There's 2 clues down here and only 1 up there. But we already drew 2 cards and didn't get the clue. And remember, the clue gets shuffled into the top 3 cards. Or, you know, the top 2 cards. So the clue is 1 of the top 3. So we're guaranteed to get a clue if we just stay there 1 more turn. Even though there's a real good chance of getting one down here. So I'm going to do that, but we have to figure out what to do for our other action. And we could heal ourselves. There's no harm in it, I guess. We can do this healing word spell that we have. Or we can focus, but I don't see a benefit there. We can scrounge or whatever that's called to get $1. We don't need money. Obviously, we can heal the ally, right? So let's do that. We're going to heal this ally by 1. That's really crazy. We're wasting actions like this, but that's sort of what's happening. And now we're going to draw miskatonic, and sure enough, there's our clue. Without evidence, the scientists cannot establish how the doors between worlds are being opened. These specialists are desperate for a collaborator to provide the materials they need for their research. You may spend 1 remnant to gain $3 and 1 clue from your neighborhood. Well, that's simple. We have 300 of these. So, and then not only that, but we get $3 more. So that's some nice bling there. So we get that, and we get our clue. So now we have a clue. Okay, and then we're going to draw 2 from the cup. And there's only 1 in the cup. It's this. And I'm putting everything else back in the cup. And I'm dropping stuff on the floor. 1 second. All right, so these are the 2 I drew. So we're gonna grab a doom first. Doom goes in the south side at Ma's boarding house. And the south side is pretty clean. And then we're gonna grab a clue. It's gonna go to Rivertown, which has the anomaly. And so all that means is that we're going to be drawing anomaly cards first, so we won't be able to get the clue anytime soon. All right, it is our turn, and we have a choice to make. We have an anomaly in Rivertown, of course, and we also have a monster there. And then that's one of the scars we can close. So we can move there, take out the monster, and then close the scar by next turn. Or we can move here, which will then get us another clue, potentially. But we're going to have to move again to get this scar. So it's 2 turns either way to close the scar, no matter which way we go. If we go here, during the encounter phase, we can at least get a clue. If we go up there, we're going to at least kill the monster and possibly remove the doom tokens, which is another good thing. But we're not going to get a clue, is the point I'm making. We only need to close 3 scars to move to whatever happens next. We don't know what happens next, but we only need 3. So I don't necessarily need to close that one up there if I just close this one. So I may also not necessarily need these clues, right? Maybe if I close 3, I win the game. Who knows? So that's the debate, is which way to go, what to do. You know, this obviously would be the path of, hey, we're still going to need more clues, so let's go down here. But remember, if I get any more doom up there, it goes onto the sheet. But guess what? We haven't gotten a single doom this game, so we're doing pretty well. I honestly don't know what to do, but I'm going to go the let's not allow doom to happen route. So I'm going to move 2 here, and let's kill this beast. We're going to engage him and kill him. He only has 1 hit point, so he's going to be a cakewalk. We're rolling 8 dice for Pete's sakes, with blessed. Famous last words, only 1 of those actually hit, but we still had other dice to roll. So there we go, we killed him. No monster anymore, so that debate is over. And now we're going to draw this, and we have 3. You float and avoid the real world, dimly visible above you as if above the surface of the sea. So will -2. We only have a will of 2, so we'll just roll 1 die. And we pass. If you pass, you remember yourself and push through to your world. You remove 3 doom from your space and gain a remnant. Boy, we needed that remnant. Okay. By the way, this scenario was more fun when we went and allied ourselves with the lodge. This seems like it's just like scenario 1, where all you're doing is going after clues. Where when we allied ourselves with the lodge, all kinds of crazy crap started happening. I don't want to spoil it, but I'm just telling you that allying yourself with the lodge made the game very interesting. Okay, so we're done with that. And mythos phase. Let's draw 2 from the cup. Newspaper and doom. I'll do the doom real quick first. It is Miskatonic U, Orin Library. All right, and then the newspaper. Choose 1. Place 1 doom in your space, or spawn 1 monster in your space. All right, if I place a doom in my space, it's going to go in the scenario. If I put a monster in my space, then it means that I'm going to be distracted for another turn. I'm going to go ahead and do the monster. And it's a void touched. It's a lurker where every investigator will suffer 1 horror for every turn. That's crazy, but we're going to engage it. Because when we attack it, we engage this. And it says, and in fact, the headline says it engages you. So even though it's a lurker, it's going to engage us. And then after we defeat it as part of an attack action, we can gain a spell. Well, I'm not even going to put this down because we're back to our actions. And so let's just turn the camera here and roll some dice. We got 8 dice to roll. We need 2 hits. And there's easily 3 hits right there without even looking at all the other dice. Okay, so we killed it. We're going to get a spell. The alchemical process. We get money for this. I guess That's okay, we didn't need it. And then we have another action, and we're going to roll to put our clue. We're gonna, whatever that's called, research. So we get to roll 4 dice, and then +1 because of our magnifying glass. And you can see we succeed. So our second clue is going onto the scenario. We're ready to close the third one, but we're out of actions. There's no monster. There's no doom in our space. We need to test lore. So I'm going to do that. And we passed. There's 2 passes there. Remember, we're blessed. If you pass, you form the outer sign. You remove 1 doom from any space in the neighborhood. And so we're actually going to remove the last doom, and the anomaly goes away. So once again, we succeeded in preventing any doom from getting on to our scenario. All right, so let's draw our 2 tokens. A blank and a clue. Okay, the clue is going on to Rivertown, which is exactly where we're at. And I didn't even realize it, but we actually already had a clue in Rivertown, so. Okay, it is our turn, and we're gonna spend 1 action to close that gate, or scar. So I just spent 2 clues to do that, and let's see what happens. I'm just trying to find the card. When 3 or more scars have been mended, flip this card and read the way is closed effect. With the final words, you weave a thread of arcane energy, and I'm just going to point right here. You win the game. So we won. I know some of you were asking, like, you needed to see more of this, and I picked this one because this one was so different than the first one. But because of the choice I made, it ended up being exactly the same as the first one, where all we had to do was just keep getting clues and we won the game. I'm assuming you're watching this because you, well here, I'm going to tell you right now, stop watching if you don't want to be spoiled. So had we gone with the lodge, okay? So when the scar is mended for the first time, flip this card and read Gathering Power. And so I won't read the cards to you, but what ends up happening is the lodge starts, they have their own plan. They're mending these scars and using the energy of it. So basically the lodge is on your side, meaning that they're not trying to bring this thing into the world. What they're doing is they're using his power to make them powerful. So basically they plan on taking over the world. That's what they're trying to do. They're going to take over the world, and the players who took the Dark Pact are in with the lodge, and the players who don't are not in with the lodge. And you get to this spot in the game where you realize what the lodge's plans are, and you have to decide if you're going to declare war on the lodge or go along with it. And if you go along with it, what ends up happening is only the players who took the Dark Pact win the game. The other players lose. And so you actually split your party. And I honestly don't know what happens if you go against them, the lodge, right? Because once you figure out what their plan is, then you betray them. I really don't know what happens at that point. I don't know if it reverts to the path we just took. But we just chose never to ally ourselves with them in the first place. And as you know, we mended the scars, and then that was that. The lodge added a whole interesting element where the players were actually no longer on the same side. And I just thought that was really cool. I purposely chose not to go that way because I'm playing a solo game. There is no other player but me. So either I took the Dark Pact or I didn't. And then to make things worse, I picked a character that already has a Dark Pact, so he can't take another one. So he can't join the lodge. And so because I made these choices to only have one character and to and to pick a character that had the Dark Pact, I couldn't join the lodge anyways and show you that path. And I know I'm spoiling it a little bit, but the whole point of doing a second run through was to help some of you who've given me feedback directly that your mind is still not made up and you wanted to just see some more play. So the other thing with the other time I played this is that north side, because there's only one way to get to it, we ended up getting a big stack of monsters right here on this street. And we couldn't even get into the north side, and there was an anomaly there. And so we couldn't get through that street to the north side, and the Doom tokens was just showing up on our scenario card over and over because round after round we were stuck engaging with monsters. And we ran into that because we were playing a 6-player game. So in a 6-player game, I mean, there's a whole lot of mythos tokens being drawn, so monsters are spawning left and right. Obviously, playing a solo game, you saw that we went for 5 or 6 rounds without a monster even on the board. So again, the solo game is interesting, and I do want to say that I think it's at least balanced. I mean, with Eldritch Horror, there was always this certain player counts had an advantage over other player counts, right? And I don't think that's the case here. I think the fact that the Mythos Cup is throttled based on the number of players really does balance it out. And as you saw with a single player, we were able to manage this. In fact, I didn't have a single Doom token on the sheet. I made this game look easy. I don't think it's always going to be easy. In fact, I thought that the lodge thing was awesome when we did that. But anyways, there is a scenario that does not even use anomalies. It's a completely different scenario. There's no anomalies, no nothing. I've never played it before, so I can't tell you about it. But I do know that I think it's the Feast for Underuth or whatever that's called. That one there doesn't use anomalies, and there's a whole new rule set. So every time we start the game, we get this anomalies card, right? Well, if you do that scenario, you won't get this card. This card does not come out. And so you're not going to have these anomaly rules that happen with that particular scenario. So there are going to be some differences. And then, of course, the hardest scenario, Return of the Deep, we haven't tried that one yet. And anyways, there you go. There's a second one for you. And I really appreciate all the comments. And I know I wasn't always playing this game perfectly, and I got a few rules wrong. And I appreciate all your patience with that. And I really hope, though, that I accomplished my goal of giving you an idea of what this game is about. And I know most of you are going to be getting your copies very, very soon. And I hope you enjoyed the game as much as I have so far. I fully admit I'm not a big Cthulhu fan, but I do enjoy this type of game. I actually like Eldritch Horror a lot as well. Anyways, thank you for watching. And let me know if there's any other requests. I can actually do a few more. Don't mind recording myself playing a game. I'm going to be doing a few more on my own, with or without the camera. So I appreciate it very much, and have a great night.